Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today we are going to learn the combinational circuits using Verilog. Basically in this video we are going how to write the code in Verilog. Okay, so I'm Aditya Ganishi of Division B. So in this video we are going to know about what is Verilog, the parts of Verilog, then we're going to know the syntax, then the real life scenario, the requirements, and then comes the code explanation, the very important part of this video, the code explanation itself, and then the RTL schematic, which we have performed on the Xilinx software. So let's get started. So what is Verilog? First of all, Verilog is a hardware description language. Okay, so if someone is coming from the coding background, like if anyone is knowing C language, so he or she will find it very easy to understand the Verilog language. It's very much similar to the C language. Okay, so it is used to describe the behavior of an electronic component when we came across the IC integrated circuits and FPGAs that are field programmable gate arrays. And it is commonly used in design, yeah, as it is also written over here. And Verilog is a blueprint of electronic devices. Okay, so we'll be not wasting our time in discussing about Verilog. Rather than we will be going towards the code very quickly. So Verilog has four parts. Basically, coming to the coding part, it is having modules, then signals, assignments, and always blocks. So we will be studying it one by one. So modules are the basic building block in Verilog. So in modules, we declare our inputs and outputs as we do in the PHDL code as well. The what we do declare the entity. In entity, we just declare the ports, that is, it is import port, output port, and in output. So likewise, we are going to do it in Verilog language as well. So next come the signals. Signals are used to represent the connection between the different components. It may be like if we are having two AND gates which are connected, means the output of the first AND gate is as an input to another AND gate or any other gate. So the connection between them is known as the signal. So in this case, wires are there, reg is also there. Then comes the assignments. So it might be the new word. So assignments are used to assign the value to the signal. So assignments are used to assign the values to the signals as we have discussed the signals. So it may be continuous assignments or procedural assignments. We also will be going to discuss about it and later in this video. Later in this video, we will also going to discuss this later in this video. Then comes the always blocks. Always blocks are used for behavioral modeling, allowing you to describe how the output change his response to him. So the always block is basically a fundamental construct that describes how a circuit responds to change in input and time. Okay, it might be a little bit complex right now to understand it, but when we will be considering an example, so it will be very much clear. And as well, Verilog is a case sensitive. Then comes to the syntax. So as that of C language, in Verilog as well, the comments are declared. The single line comments are declared. Then comes the modules. Okay, the modules is a building block we have discussed. It is defined using the module keyboard module used to describe it, and followed by the module name and a list of ports in path lines. The module body is enclosed in begin and end keyword. So here, as one of an example, we can see how it is declared the keyword module, then name of the module, then the input and the output port. Sometimes it may be in-out port as well. So, and this is the module body, the main context of the body, which will come here, and at the end module means the end keyword. Then comes our ports. So, ports ports are the inputs and the outputs of a module that define how it interacts with other modules. Means they can be input, output, or in-out. Each port must have a name and can be assigned the default values. Okay, so here you can see the input A is given, output 7 is to 0. It is declaring, means from this we came to know that size of the output. This means that this B is an 8-bit wide output. This 8 indicates here it is an 8-bit number, and D means it is a decimal part. Okay. Then comes the procedural block. In the procedural block, blocks are used to declare behavior in the block. Okay, so basically, this part is used to declare the behavior. This describes each behavior in Verilog. There are two types of procedural blocks: always and initial. These always blocks are used to describe the combinational logic or sequential logics. Okay. If we go with the initial blocks are used to describe the initialization or one-time events. Then comes the tasks and function. Tasks and function are used to encapsulate code and promote usability. Tasks are used to perform a specific action, means then the keyword name, then input and output, and then comes the task and function. Tasks are used to perform a specific action, while functions are used to just return a value. Okay, and here it is the syntax of writing a function, writing keyword function, then 7 is to 0, then which the size of the output. Mm, So let us consider an real life scenario. So a gaming enthusiast Aditya has multiple gaming consoles, specifically a PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and a PC, all connected to a single monitor. Okay, and he wants to switch between these consoles easily to enjoy gaming without hassle of manually changing cables or set. For this purpose, we required to design a 4 is to 1 mux that allows Aditya to select one of the four gaming consoles to display on the monitor. Okay, the selection should be controlled using a physical switch or any remote control. The system must ensure minimum input lag to provide an optimal gaming experience. So here is the basic code of 4 is to 1 mux using Verilog. So here it is module X 4 is to 1. So as we all know that, then the name of the module, which is mux underscore 4 underscore 1 underscore V, then the ports are defined, that is 3 down to 0, which tells us that it is a 4-bit input vector D, which can be take the value from D0 to D3. Okay, then we are having another input which we called as select lines, that is S, which is 1 down to 0, which tells us that it is 2-bit input vector, which will use to select one of the four input. In the output rect Y, so this declares an output Y as an register type. So meaning it can be output reg Y. It is used to hold its value across the simulation cycle. Then comes the main part, which is always, the keyword always, then at the rate, in bracket star, then begin. In begin, we are using the case here for our 4 is to 1 mux. So always at the rate, this indicates that the following block of the code, so always at the rate, this indicates that the following block of the code will execute Whenever there is a change in any of the input, means if there is change in D or S, likewise the function will change. That likewise the execution will be done. And the star, which is here, that means it is sensitive to all signals used within the block. And then comes the case S. Okay, this begins a case statement that will evaluate the value of S to determine which input from D to assign to Y. Okay, so as you can see, 0, 0, then Y is assigned the value of D0. Similarly, if S is having 0, 1, then Y is assigned the value of D1. Similarly, for D10 and D10 and D11. Then comes the default Y. So then comes the default Y. So this is the default case that handles an unexpected value of S. If S does not match any of the specified values, Y is set to 0. Real meaning. That is the meaning of this default y equals to 1. There we have to end the case. If we have we are starting the case, so here we have to end the case. We always end the case with the keyword end case. Then keyword end is conclude that always block. So which we have started this always block here. So for ending the always block, we write a keyword end here. Then comes the end module. So this end module includes the end of the module definition. So this whole the module which we have started from here, we have to end it. So we have to write it end module. So the code defines a 4 is to 1 mux that select one of the four input signal based on the qubits section of input. The output The output by reflects the selected input from D based on the values of S with the default value of 0 for invalid section states. So the output value Y. So as we can see in this RT schematic, so the output value Y reflects the selected inputs from D over here based on the values of S, that is S0, S1, with a default value of 0 for invalid selection states. So this is the basic code for the 4 is to 1 mux using the. So this is the truth table of the 4 is to 1 mux. So S0, S1 are the select lines, then D3, D2, D1, and D0 are the inputs which we are given. And in this case, here the output is coming as A, B, C, and D. For 0, 0 condition, this D0 will be 1. For 0, 1, D1 will be 1. And for 10, D2 will be 1. And for 11, D3 will be 1. Likewise, the table will be formed. And looking towards the test bench waveform, this is the test bench waveform from the Xilinx. So as we come into the Xilinx software, here for the new project, we will go into new project. Here we will write the name as forums. We Verilog. Then going to next, then add source. So here we have to select the Verilog module. Then we have to give the name like Verilog. So you can give any name, but you have to select this Verilog module. Then next, here we are going to declare that select lines that are S, which is an input, and we select it from 1 down to 0. Then we are taking P as inputs, give it as 3 down to 0, and give output Y, selecting it as output, then clicking on next, finish, next, next, finish. So it will be directed to you to this page. So here you have to write the code which we have discussed earlier, and you will get the referred output. That's it for the video, guys. Thank you, and please do subscribe to the channel.